Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be making a chicken stew with ugali. So guys, come with me, let's prepare this dish. So we have our ingredients. We have tomatoes, 3 tomatoes. Our tomato paste is over there. 1 green bell pepper, 2 onions, black pepper, salt, garam masala, and that is chicken masala for a little bit of spice for the chicken. We go ahead and marinate our chicken in the chicken masala and a paste of ginger and garlic. You mix it up quite well using your hands. Make sure you wash your hands, guys. It should be marinated for like up to 30 to 45 minutes before you deep fry. Make sure your chicken is well washed. You can use a mixture of vinegar or lemon juice to wash the chicken and get rid of any excess fats or chicken feathers. Heat your oil and deep fry your chicken, or just shallow fry, just as long as you cut the chicken both sides and it's well cooked. Make sure you don't get burnt, guys. As you can see, the oil was really spurting everywhere, so just don't get burnt. Go ahead, deep fry your chicken until it becomes a nice golden brown. As you can see, that's a nice golden brown color. It looks yummy. Don't overcook the chicken because you're going to stew it up. Just let it have a nice hard coat on the outside and half cooked on the inside. It will cook once you put it in the stew. Finish frying the rest of your chicken, and into a deep dish we're going to start frying our onions using the same oil we used to deep fry the chicken. Just use like 2 tablespoons of oil and go ahead and dip in your onions and your bell pepper. Fry them until the onion softens or until it turns colorless and or whitish. Then you go ahead and add your spices. That is the black pepper, the garam masala, your salt, and the chicken masala. We add this to the chicken, to the frying of the onions at this point, because we want our vegetables to have that nice spicy flavor. And the salt, just put in a little bit of salt and you can adjust it as you go on with your cooking. Make sure, guys, as you are cooking, you taste your food for the salt. You don't want it to have excess salt, so put in your salt bit by bit so that you have a nice taste. It shouldn't be too much, not too little. As you can see, I'm putting in all my spices and frying it, and then I'll go ahead with the tomatoes, put them in, add the tomato paste, mix a bit, and then cover and let it simmer until all the tomatoes are cooked. Well, guys, for the tomato paste, you don't use the whole paste. As I was cooking 1 full chicken, you can use half of that tomato paste or 1 tablespoon of that tomato paste, and 3 large tomatoes. That's really good. We don't want your chicken to have too much, to lose its taste from the tomatoes. Once you use a lot of tomatoes, you find that your dish becomes has this sour taste of tomatoes. So koroga vizuri, add some water so that it doesn't burn, and then cover it and let it simmer for a while. Give it at least 2 to 3 minutes. So guys, this is my second video. Make sure you like, you subscribe for those who have not yet subscribed, and share to your friends and family, and don't forget to comment. Tell me if you like this recipe, or if there's another way you make your chicken stew. Maybe I want to try that out also, but this is how I make it. This is how I make it, and I love it. I've been doing this. Whoever taught me to make it this way. Obviously, I've added a little bit of my own taste into the chicken stew, but I love it. As you can see, the tomatoes are well cooked, they have softened, and I'm just trying to make it into a puree with that spoon that I'm using to cook. Add in some water, or if you have a meat stock, you can add it as the soup. You can use beef stock. It has a nice flavor to it. Don't worry guys, beef stock can be used to prepare chicken. Also go ahead and adjust your salt. Mine, since it had a little bit of salt and I've added water, I'm just going to add it in. And taste your food guys. A good chef always tests their food. Before you serve it to your guests, make sure you taste your food. Yes, it goes a long way. You have to do it every step of the way, every step of the way. So let me just know if this is how you prepare your chicken. So there's my chicken. As you can see, it was oozing some juices, so I put it into the vegetable that is cooking, and I'm going to add my chicken pieces in the sufuria one by one, making sure they have ample space to breathe. The chicken will release some juices into the stew, making your stew to be very tasty and have that nice chicken flavor. Also, stewing the chicken like this helps it to cook. It will cook on the inside and have that nice flavor of the spices with it as well. So as you've noticed, I haven't used the ginger while frying the tomato, the onions and the green bell pepper, because I had marinated my chicken with ginger and garlic, and I didn't want it to overpower my dish. Ginger and garlic is very strong, so you just use it sparingly. I used 3 cloves of garlic, just normal size, and 1 teaspoon of ginger. That wasn't enough. I used the fresh ginger, not ginger powder. And I prefer using fresh vegetables like this because they're good. Rather than having the garlic powder, I prefer using the whole garlic itself and the ginger itself. It has a nice flavor. And as your food is cooking, make sure to check on it so that it doesn't burn. You can see it's simmering really well. The chicken has started to tenderize, so just turn it carefully so as not to break the chicken. That looks really good. I'm just salivating right now as I'm talking. Well, I fall in love with my own cooking. I don't know if you guys do, but I do fall in love with my own cooking. I mean, I wish someone would cook for me like this, you know? But then again, I guess the best food is the one that you prepare yourself. So yeah, I love cooking and I love eating my food. I challenge someone to prepare this for me, by the way. If you can, please do, and tag me, send me a link on the comments, just direct me on how I'll get that recipe. Or you can actually send me that video and let me see. Okay, so our chicken is ready. It has boiled for like 10 to 15 minutes. And now I'll set up my sufuria for the ugali. Since it was just me and my mom, guys, I used a small pot. Ugali for 2 people. Very easy to cook, very fast. So you get, you put in 2 to 3 cups of water. I put in more, and just to make sure that it's not a little ugali. And then I will adjust the water because I thought it was too much, so I reduced some water before I started cooking. As you can see, I'm reducing. So you start adding in your maize flour, that is white maize flour, and start stirring it. You don't want your ugali to have lumps, guys, so just take it step by step, bit by bit. And I like my ugali soft, not too hard. And how I make it soft is by adding flour bit by bit. If you put in too much flour, your ugali becomes very hard and could have lumps, and I don't like that. I like soft ugali. Growing up at the coast, you learn to make your ugali quite soft. Yeah. So you add your maize flour bit by bit while stirring. As soon as that paste starts thickening, you will use something to support the sufuria so that it doesn't fall. As you can see, it was really popping and I was getting burnt, so I had to lengthen my sleeves so that I don't get burnt. Add in your flour, continue stirring. So now here you see it's become quite hard, and I'm just adjusting the fire so that it doesn't burn at the base of the sufuria, yet the ugali is not ready. Mix your ugali quite well. After consulting with my stomach, I realized that I need a bigger ugali, so I had to use the rest of the water that I had taken out. That's hot water, guys. Make sure you add the water and let it simmer so that you have a well-cooked ugali. Ugali, this is, in Coast we call it sima. But here we call it ugali. So this is ugali for the rest of us who we live on the other side of the country. I'm making my ugali. Guys, I realized I was very hungry, so I just had to use the rest of that water. 2 people ugali. Yeah. So you knead it very well, and once it's ready, so I realized it was quite sticky. I had to add in a bit more flour just so I have a nice soft ugali, and it shouldn't be so sticky. Actually, it should be cooked, not sticky. If it's sticking to your sufuria or your cooking stick, that mwiko, that shows that your ugali is not well cooked. I don't know, that's just how I measure it. I don't know how you guys measure a well cooked ugali. Can you please let me know in the comment section? How do you tell if your ugali is ready or well cooked? As for me, if it's still sticking to that cooking stick, that means it's not well cooked. So what I do is just continue to stir it up, kneading it so that I get rid of any lumps. And that's how it's looking. Yeah. As you can see, it's becoming very nice and firm. Not too hard, not too soft, just the right consistency. And it's not sticking as much as earlier. It's getting better, guys. This is a work in progress, so still learning to prepare ugali. It's not my favorite dish to make, but I do appreciate it. It's quite sustainable. That looks good. Looks really good. Happy with my results. I was dancing a bit. That looks good. So once it's ready, mold it into the shape you want. Make sure it's a nice shape. As you can see, it's not sticking to that pan, it's not sticking to the pan, it's not sticking to the cooking stick, it's just nice and firm. Really hot also. I was using a small sufuria because I think that was the right size for 2 people. That's the right one. So I'm just getting my plate, getting ready to take the ugali off the jiko and set it and ready for the table. I like my ugali hot, not when it's cold it becomes very hard, but when it's hot it's still nice and soft. So that's how I like my ugali. No cold ugali, please. Don't prepare for your guests cold ugali. Don't let it cool down too much. It becomes hard, and you can choke from that. So just prepare your ugali in time for it to go to the table. But for the kids, make sure it's not too hot, or else you'll burn the kids. Yeah, so now time for serving. Someone can't decide what to pick. That chicken looks yummy. I mean, oh yes. Look at those peppers, the tomatoes, that stew. What a nice color. You add in your chicken pieces. Cut your piece of ugali and enjoy your meal. This was a very nice dinner, a really nice one. My mom really enjoyed it. A very nice one. And wash it down with a cup of tea.